So, storytelling. Plato once said that the person who can tell stories rules the world, or rules society, and never has this been more true because online skepticism is high, trust is low, and storytelling slices through the noise. Now, storytelling in itself is a whole course, and luckily for you, I actually have another one of these coming out probably in a month or so, and so keep an eye out. But let's give you some information about storytelling, okay? There's only 7 stories that you need to know, okay? When you look into movies, they all follow the same format. So what I would do is learn them, okay? Because then when you tell stories that are in a pattern that people recognize, it breaks down their beliefs, it warms their heart, it angers them, whatever you're going for, you're telling the right story. So, for example, the rebirth is when someone has something bad happen or they go down one side of life and then they realize that actually that's not for them, and then they change their mission and they save the day at the end of it. Okay. The most common here is the quest, which is the hero's journey. Very similar to Voyage and Return, where if you look at something like Lord of the Rings, okay, they have a problem, okay, they have a villain, they have a desire, they go on a journey, okay, they overcome the problem, there's a transformation, they achieve success, and they avoid failure. Now, the reason why this is really powerful is because, and then that's the hero's journey is the one that will always do well. It lets people in to your story, okay, and when people feel connected to you, they trust you, and so they will buy your stuff. Like a really quick one, for example, let's say, let me just give it a whirl, okay? I want to be free, okay? I believe that freedom is the only worthwhile goal, and, but the problem was that I was stuck in my 9 to 5 in a job that I didn't enjoy, overworked, stressed, and I couldn't really see an escape. But then I found Naval Ravikant, okay, and I heard his podcast, so this is the guide coming in, and I started following his advice and realizing that I was climbing the wrong mountain. And so, I thought, well, maybe I should quit my job, but I was really scared, okay, and so I didn't for like a year. This is the call to action that we refuse, okay, but then I thought, you know what, fuck it, like my career is really putting me down and I love the internet world and I just wanted nothing more than to be a writer. Now we have a common desire, okay? And so what I did was I actually told my boss to stuff it, okay? So you overcome the villain, and it's really difficult, blah, 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 blah. And now I am a full-time writer, I'm an online business, I spend every day doing what I love, and I'm so glad that I didn't just carry on down that path, the hero's journey. By the way, if you would like to buy my product, which will help you do the same, click on this button. Okay? Here's no one. So, here was the problem. Here was the situation. Here's the problem. Here's why it was hard to solve. Here's our solution. Here's how it makes life easy. Here are the results. And here's how you can get it too. Okay? You could do that in one email very, very quickly. So, I just started at the gym, okay, but the problem was I was too scared to go into the squat rack, and it was really hard to solve because there's a lot of conflicting advice out there online. Well, I've built a product that will actually take you from squatting the bar to 100 kgs in the next 6 months. And the best bit is, it's going to make your life easy because I've taken all the good advice and put it in one area and got rid of all the bad shit so you know exactly what you want to do. By the way, here's 3 clients that are squatting 200 kg by using my product. And by the way, it's half price for you for the next 48 hours. Just click this button. That's storytelling. Now, one thing I would say that would make you a very powerful storyteller is that it comes down to practice, okay? And most of the time, it's not a bad storytelling, it's a lack of material. So what you have to remember with stories is that they happen everywhere, and the whole point of the story is to share an experience, okay? To share a lesson, to pass down what you've learned through something that has happened. And if you're not taking notice of stories, then you're never going to have them when you need them. So I have a story bank. You should basically be taking note of everything that happens around you, no matter how small, and then thinking, well, how could I apply that in a way that would be interesting to my reader? So, for example, I'm terrible in my car, okay? Treat it like shit. So I took it for a wash for the first time in 3 years. And when I'd done it, I sat in my car and it smelled great, it looked clean, it felt clean. And I was just there thinking, well, that was £20 and an hour of my time. And I was like, why didn't I do this before? Okay. So I tell that story on an email, and I'll be like, well, which leads me to my point. You've probably been thinking about, investing in mentorship for writing, and you've bought other courses, and you've sort of avoided the big investment, and you figured you'd try to figure it out on your own. But trust me, in a year's time, if you buy this mentorship program, you're going to think, why didn't I think of this before? Okay. Do you see how that is so much easier than me going, oh, you need to buy my coaching program or you're going to have a horrible time writing online? I'm talking about my fucking car, okay? It's a very, backdoor way to sell your shit. But if I didn't write down this story when it happened, I wouldn't remember it. So, I don't know, let's see if I can find another, if you want to see it. Oh yeah, so I've actually written this email. It's not come out yet, but I went to Snowdon recently, and it was a horrible walk. It took me on the scariest path. 10 people a year die. I'm scared of heights, and no, this isn't a when you climb the mountain you're going to feel really good at the top. Actually, it's make sure you're climbing the right fucking mountain. So, if you want to find out about that, come pick up my product because I will teach you how to write about your interests in a way, blah 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 blah. Okay, so story bank. That's how we do it. As I said, storytelling is a whole kettle of fish, okay? And so I will write another course for you. But if you want to be very, very good at the hero's journey, read this book. Read it twice, read it 3 times. It is outstanding.